Okay guys, so I'm no expert when it comes to chiseling at all, or using a chisel. And in fact, these are basically the only chisels I've got. I've got a couple of other old ones. They're just old building chisels I've used for years and years. So I've actually ordered a decent set of chisels and they'll arrive tomorrow. I've cut all of these bow tie splines with these old chisels, and tomorrow, I'm going to mark this one up now, tomorrow I'm going to chisel this one out with the new chisel and see if it's basically me blaming my old tools while I'm having problems, or it's just me not very good. Just a tip I've found for marking this out, I've actually used a hot glue gun. I've glued this down and I'm just using a scribing knife to scribe around here, and hopefully quite deep, and that's going to give my chisel and my router a really good reference point. So after scribing it, I'm going to use a really fine pencil and just pencil in the knife mark so I can actually see it. It's a bit harder on, I've found it's a bit harder on the darker woods to see your pencil lines, so anything I can do to help is good. One thing I do like about using a chisel is the lack of noise in the workshop, which is with power tools, that's the one downside. Let's get this off. It's just stuck really well. You can see the lines. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this out today, but I'm going to leave the chisel in until tomorrow when the new chisels arrive. And just hope it is the bad chisels, the old chisels, that are making it difficult, but we'll see. Okay, so that's where I've got with the router. I sort of purposely left a bit more than I normally would here, so I can check out the new chisel. You can see this is going to be a bit of a job because it's not very good, but this is all going to be full of epoxy resin, but I need to stabilise it first, really, as best I can. So when I first started doing the routing out, I was using this little 4mm bit, which is a spiral cutter. I just thought I'd get closer to the edge, but to be honest, this is a 10mm spiral cutter, and I found this much easier to guide. It takes out more stock quicker, but it also seems more solid. This one's quite snaking around, so another little tip, I just personally found the bigger one, 10mm, to be a better solution for me anyway. Okay, the new chisels have arrived, so this is the big day to see whether or not it is easier using one of these nice Japanese style chisels, very very sharp, different type of steel for cutting one of these compared to my old, well, builder's style chisel, I guess. Been used on lots of demolition projects and probably used less on woodwork. But anyway, let's have a check out, see if it's any easier. Or am I just blaming my tools for my bad craftsmanship? We'll have a look. So I give it, the first sand I do is without the vacuum attached, so we get some sawdust in there, although this doesn't need too much, but we'll see. So are the new chisels better than the old ones? Well, they're probably a little bit sharper, that's for sure. And I would say though that using these smaller style chisels compared to these big heavy chisels on the finer work, it just seems easier to me to place them. It's the hammer doing most of the work rather than the weight of the chisel. That's probably not going to be the same for doing big framing jobs, it's probably the opposite, but for this sort of stuff, I mean, that joint's not bad. I need to, the problem I've got here rather is it's not level. So I've got to decide, once the resin's in, I'm going to have to kind of sand down and up. I don't want to go too far on this spline because I need to be able to shape it with the rest of the table. So just a bit of a clean up job, but yeah, I think they are probably better. It's not a lot easier, but it definitely is nicer to work with these new chisels. It definitely feels nicer to hold. So all in all, probably good. Okay, it's finished. I'm really pleased. It looks really cool. I sort of fell out of love with the table. I've always loved a piece of wood, but the table, I don't know, there was something about it I just didn't like. And now, just looks really nice. I love it. Both types of splines have worked out really well. There's 5 in here now, I think, and they're definitely going to hold it together. One bit of advice on these 2 splines. I chamfered them in at an angle to help them fit tight, but I had to grind so much elm away to get the shape right that I've actually ground down, and I could see the gaps starting to appear which weren't there before. So it's just a bit of filler, which is a shame, but it's okay. But I would just say, if you're going to do some heavy sanding after you've fitted the bow ties, I mean, I've only ever seen it to a finished piece of wood before. I've never seen it used and then ground, but that's probably why, you know, don't chamfer it in, just get it in there nice and tight if you're going to grind it down. But anyway, hope you enjoyed it. I'm really pleased. Looks really cool. Thanks for watching.